I'd known Brzezinski's work for about 10 years, a little over 10 years, and I got captivated by the quarry pictures initially because to me it was such a perfect, simple metaphor of literally what we take out of the earth to make the things that we do, these holes in the earth. Um, and so I've been thinking, and I was also very struck by the fact that his work is very consciousness changing, but in a non-didactic way. The photographs don't preach at you, but they allow you to think about our impact, the way that we impact the planet by living on it, you know, and in a way that is open-ended, which I think is really rare, especially with most existing environmental discourses. So I've thought about that a lot with his work, but Daniel Iron came to me, who is somebody we've worked with since the Paul Bowles film 10 years ago, and said that he had about 80 hours of archival footage shot on a mini DV camera from a guy named Jeff Powis, who was a customer at Toronto Imageworks, which is the lab that Ed owns in Toronto, who asked Ed about 5 years ago, can I follow you around to some of these places? And he did, but then he didn't know what to do with it because he wasn't a filmmaker, and he asked Danny if he knew anyone who could put it together. And at that point, my daughter, Magnus's sister, was 3. No, she was a baby. She's 3 now. She was a baby, and I thought it would be great to work on something that I'm not going to travel for. Of course, the opposite happened. But I looked at the 80 hours, and I realized that I couldn't make a film out of that footage. It was very Ed-focused. It was kind of like a home movie of Ed on location, and all the black and white stuff in the film is Jeff Powis's footage. So we went back to them and said, look, we can't make a film with just this, but what about situating this footage in a larger, more ambitious project? And or you can take it away and do what you want with it, and we'll just, you know, leave you alone. And so, but they said they really wanted to continue with us, and so very rarely the financing came together incredibly quickly, which never happens in documentaries, but it took about 3 months. We got the National Film Board was involved, and we got a private donation, and then TV Ontario, and we suddenly had enough money to go to China with Ed. He was going in May of 2005 for his last trip on this documentation, his latest photo essay of the Industrial Revolution in China. And we got enough money that we could shoot in Super 16 millimeter, which was huge. You know, shoot the whole thing in film. We usually do a mixture of video and film, but we were able to do that, and off we went for 3.5 weeks to China with it.